say, since day one, we made a commitment and a promise to each other that no matter what, this vision was going to be fulfilled and that we were going to make a change in Phoenix and Arizona and bring something new to the community. Every day together, we strive to really just focus on what can we do different today, whose life can we change today, and are they making an improvement today? So I feel like overall our mission is to define the future of the arts, to really implement values. We're very proud, we're very happy of the outcome that these students have shown and the result of their work. A lot of these students are young entrepreneurs and young creatives, and I am all for young entrepreneurship. I started when I was 18 years old. I am still fairly young, and to me, seeing somebody, or seeing a teen especially, use their potential and use their time wisely is the most beautiful thing that I can possibly witness, and if I can be a part of that and support it in any way, I will.
I saw how much low confidence they have and how much they froze in front of my camera in the beginning, and then towards the end, I don't even know who these people are anymore. They just changed night and day. It inspired me so much.
No Model of the Year for 2022. I got a contract with agency AC, an exclusive contract with them. So now I'm signed with them, part of their family. So out of that experience, 3 months, I was able to take that home. I wasn't expecting it, so it was just a bonus win for me. And it was a good accomplishment because by the end of that year, I did want to be signed, and I made that goal happen.
Jocelyn and Gia are like my model mentors, my parents. Even if it's not something like modeling related, I know I always can lean my shoulder on them, always call them if I need something, and they're always going to be there for you.
When I joined here, I made a second family, and just Joe and Gia are amazing. They changed me in ways I can't even explain.
And so when Joy and I started thinking through this, and we think very similarly, I think the passion behind it just kind of made sense. And so as young as Jo is, you know, she inspires me to be able to like give back in my own way. But the platform itself, like when we work together, it's like magic, you know. It's really a blessing for me, a blessing for everybody that we get to work with. Sorry. Yeah. Because they're trusting us with their future, their aspirations. Those are things that, you know, I guess we don't take lightly. Sorry. No, it's okay.
Mom, what were your first thoughts when I told you I wanted to be a model?
Probably a little unsure.
I certainly had some apprehensions.
I remember sitting down with Joe and Gia, and both of us were a little apprehensive at first, and just seeing some of the pictures and how at ease that they talked to us about what they were doing, and it just sounds really exciting, and I felt like there was a lot of opportunity there.
They had a well laid out curriculum. They answered all of my questions. They were patient, and you could see that they were
passionate about what they do. It wasn't really about the money. It seems it just, they're genuine. And that was a year ago, and it honestly was one of the best decisions because they have helped you in so many ways.
Well, my first impression was we met Devin, and she was at a photo shoot, and she came into the shoot, and she just like changed the atmosphere.
I felt very depressed and disconnected, and I wanted to find something that I could do that involved a passion of mine, which was fashion. And modeling became that outlet.
I noticed my growth while I was at Corella.
Oh my God. Yes. Both your father and I were like amazed. After the first month, we began to see, it's like you tapped into parts of yourself that we didn't even know existed. I don't even know. Suddenly, you're in this creative environment and this arts environment, and we just saw you begin to flourish.
A year later, you're not even the same person, hands down. I mean, unrecognizable. You went from not even wanting to go into a room with peers to walking runways, to going into any room, going up to any person, an adult or not. And it is just amazing to see. It's kind of like you've been, you know, in a shell, and I'm watching you blossom into this beautiful being. And Corella & Co., directly by the hands of Gia and Joe, have been extremely instrumental in this.
What is the most satisfying part about observing my growth as a model? Soak it in.
The most satisfying part?
Yeah.
To know that in the future, you're going to be whatever you set your mind to be. Just your, drive, your determination, the initiative that you're taking, understanding that you want to graduate a year early by taking summer classes and graduating when you're as a junior. You have a drive and determination, and that just makes me very, very proud of what you've accomplished, what you've been through, and what you've accomplished, and where you've headed. I think is very, very satisfying for me as a parent.
When I brought up this idea to my high school teachers, a lot of them, would avoid it. They thought it was silly at the time, but I remember telling him like this idea that I had for this modeling club, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's the best thing I've ever heard." And I was like, "Really?" And so yeah, he actually came early every Thursday, 6:30 in the morning, or we would stay after school just so that I had a space to practice with students in my high school, and actually tatted the last words that he told me just because it motivates me every day, and it says, "You will change the way the world is seen." So he would always tell me that, and thankfully he did write it to me one time in a post. That was the last thing he told me was, "You will change the way the world is seen. I'm so proud of you."
We met through her mom, and her mom was like, "You should meet my daughter," and she told her, "You should meet Gia." I mean, it was just odd, and she put us together, and then I became her sponsor and started dressing her for pageantry, and then it just kind of became a little bit more of a closer relationship once she started working for me. And when we started working together, it kind of made sense. And then little did I know, she kept wanting to tell me this, but she never did. So one of my other associates says, "Hey, you might want to talk to Jocelyn because she has this idea, but she wants to bring it up, but she doesn't know how." And I was like, okay.
I was so nervous. I was scared of Gia in a good way. In a good way, yeah.
Mm-hmm. well, I was her boss, so it was kind of weird. But once she brought that, that whole just the thought process, because she was like, well, I started this in high school, but I think I can actually make it more, do more with it. And I was like, oh.
Korean Co is a 8-month program. The first 4 months is what we call phase 1 of the program. It is the core and essentials training. This is where the students pretty much learn the history of modeling, runway 101, posing 101, emoting, etiquette, casting expectations, literally anything that we feel it's the core training of a model. We've only been open 3 years, but it feels like 20 years. No, seriously. So it's been quite a challenge,
Yeah,
for sure.
That's probably one of the biggest challenges is when we bring someone on board is, do they have our vision? Do they, can they communicate the same message? Do they have the same caring thoughts that we do? Do they actually want to be here, Those are all things that run through our heads every single time. Why? Because that can change in a moment.
My name is Melody Wing. Everyone here calls me Mel. I am one of the model coaches on the Korea team. I came from a background of pageantry. So I was a pageant girl, and I was like, you know what? I really want to be on stage still, and enjoy the walk, but I didn't know where to start. So I was creeping through Instagram late at night, and I found Joe's Instagram page. And I saw that she was opening up Korea. So that's when I reached out to her, and I was like, hey, I'm really interested in this. What would it look like for me as a pageant girl to step into a new chapter of modeling? I was always helping everyone else but myself. And I was like, you know what? Oh, that person looks like they need help. Or I'll be working on my own thing. And people would approach me and be like, hey, Mel, can you help me with this turn or help me with this posing and walk and everything? And it turned out to become a passion of mine. People would gravitate towards me for that assistance. And I was like, maybe this is my calling. Maybe I'm kind of good at this. So when I graduated the program, I always told Joe and Gia, hey, if you ever need assistance, I'm here. I would love to come back and help you guys. I love what the program does, and I love the people that run it, and I would love to be able to be part of that team as well.
What we do is basically go from written content to actual practice. And so it transitions into the etiquette part being one of those topics. It's one of those things that we need to talk about, especially when you're on set, especially when you're working with professionals, networking. All of it kind of ties together. And so when we walked out of class, we gave them an example of what that looks like, and essentially walked into runway. It's important for them to journal. So we assign them journals, and then we give them specific workshops, all the ins and outs of what we do in this industry.
So my name is Vicky Valentine, but Korea knows me as Miguel. As far as what I do, majority of the time I'm a school teacher. Outside of being a school teacher, I'm also a receptionist at a retirement community. Both things that I have done for over 5 years now. But aside from those jobs that I have, I also just have a lot of hobbies, one of which started with Korea & Co. And Korea & Co really got me into the hobbies of the arts. Like before that, I didn't do any of the stuff that I do now, which is photography, either being on the model end or being on the behind the scenes. I do a lot of interviews right now and starting a podcast. So Korea really started my hobbies, which have really just helped me flourish in the person that I am now, which is nothing like the person I used to be in a very positive way. So when I first met Gia and Jocelyn, as I said earlier, it was in an interview and we were both confused on what I was doing there because I had never had any experience with the arts and I just wanted to try something new, but they were willing to give me a chance. So right away, the energy from them was so welcoming. It was like, if you really want to try this, and they were very serious about like, are you actually going to commit to this? And it's like, yes, okay. It's like, you are here to grow and master, but we are also here to help you. And it was really that like love from Jocelyn and Gia that made me keep coming back, right? It wasn't even the learning. The learning was cool, but it was really just the community and just being like feeling. And here's an easy example. Like Jocelyn will comment on everything that I would post. Right, and I know she's doing that for all the students, but the fact that she does that just demonstrates to me that like she's taking a little moment out of her day, which ends up being a ton of moments out of her day, to make sure that she is recognizing us. And Gia would do the same thing, and my coach would do the same thing. And so it was really that I realized that these people are really about like the love that they're talking about. Because there's people who talk about love but never actually act on it. No, like they acted on it and barely talked about it. Like I'm a very busy person, so aside from Korea, I was working my 40-hour work week at school, which is really more like 60 hours as a school teacher. I was working my receptionist job, but I still came to class and I still made sure that like I'm gonna make you guys proud. And now as an alumni, I actually get to come back and public speak because that's kind of one of my strengths. So as my strength, I was like, well, I have a lot of psychology I could share. I'm an alumni now, so I can share like what helped me with the students who are here now. And I will do that for you completely free of charge. You just let me know when you need it. And I do that because my time is valuable. I value my time a lot, but I also see how much of their own time they give away. Like I know a lot of stuff that they do, they're not asking for anything in return. So I see how much they give away, and I have friends like, are you asking for anything in return for your time, Angel or Mickey? And it's like, no, I'm not, because I see how much they're doing, and it just makes me want to give to them too. So as far as my relationship with them go, I'm here for whatever they need because they've been here for whatever I needed. For real.
Don't worry, we already used for class. We already used for class. Got it. Good. You're gonna be standing. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna circle. I was like, how do you rose? I just want to smell. Can I have a big circle? Thank you.
Okay, so Ashley's going to lead a warm-up today. So she's going to start slowly and then make it a little bit more challenging towards the end. But instead of mirroring the images that we had last week, we're going to mirror action. Okay, and I want you guys to focus on body movement, getting yourself to feel uncomfortable, and emoting. Okay, I know we haven't touched base on emoting yet, but just start today.
Are they like moving?
Yeah, they're going to be coming.
I hear all y'all popping, so that means y'all are not stretching. So she's timing it. Want to do it again? One. Timing. Yeah. Play. Right. Stop. That gives us timing. Gives them time to capture. Okay.
It was really like a family more than a system like where they were teaching you how to model. It was very helpful for my confidence and in the way I spoke in general. It's more than just becoming or learning how to become a model. It's very eye-opening for someone. And if you were someone like me who is a very shy person, this helps you out a lot because before this I had trouble speaking in general. I could not talk. I would be inside this little box, and it helped me really like come out of that, try new things and see where everything is from a different perspective. They treat me like I'm one of theirs. It's always felt like a family and not like, yeah, they're my coaches, but they've never, like, they'll go strict on you, but just so that you can get to where you want to be. And it's very good for me because if I'm not pushing myself, they were there to push me.
Oh, no, use that one. They don't work.
How are you guys doing today? Good. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna start off class with a little mindset session. My name is Daryl Bland. I am the founder of Blur, a media and production house that first started out as a magazine, has led into an agency and a creative house that works with brands, talent, and influencers and content creators. I first met Korea & Co. I think I brushed past them about 2 to 3 years ago. We started following each other mutually on Instagram, and I saw their work, they probably saw mine. And it was actually, I think last year is when we actually met for coffee. And we basically exchanged conversations, and it led into me asking the question, or me offering coaching, that I would be down to coach, because I heard their problems. They were looking for a coach, and I said I'm willing to jump in. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I'm a person that likes to try anything and everything and dip my toes where I can. And yeah, and they said yes, and we went on from there. Ready? 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. They have taught me how to be patient, because there's so many personalities. Each and every single person has a different story. They come in with a different, set of intentions, how they want to think about their future, their goals, their dreams, and it's my job to make sure I could align them to what they want to accomplish, whether that be in business, modeling, or just confidence in general. And I feel like with these students, they have taught me how to, be more aware and awaken into, their lives and their stories and how they want to pursue things. And I just want to be that opening branch to them and let them know that, they have access to my resources and my experience, as a mentor. And I'm willing to offer my time into their hands where they need it most. G and Jocelyn, I love them to death. They are like family. Jocelyn is the most sweetest person you'll ever meet. Same with Gia. Gia's kind. She's almost like a mother in a sense, in the greatest way possible, mentoring me, teaching me how to coach better, how to be a better person in terms of getting up in front of the room. We basically met a couple times through their fashion shows that they have hosted and produced. It was brief conversations, but it's interesting when you meet someone, you kind of get a feeling of that you're going to work with them in the future, and I got that feeling. It's a very universal feeling, I feel like, but the energy was there, and the energy was really good, and yeah, from there it has evolved.
It was single-handedly the thing that changed my life and altered the direction of where my life was going. Me receiving a message from Jocelyn started not only our friendship, but our journey together, as she was my director for Teen Universe Arizona. Within 3 weeks of meeting her, I was talking to her super consistently. I competed in nationals for that title. Although I didn't win, I came back with so many bonds I had already formed from joining Curl & Co. as part of my scholarship for that, and also being involved within Teen Universe. It really helped me understand that I did have a place within the arts. I never thought I could have one. And not only did I gain the friendships and the bonds, but I found a family. And and I think so many people describe it that way. It's true. I don't know what it is about the kind of trust that there just was, even since before I knew anybody. It's a great, great environment. So I met Gladys and Jocelyn through Teen Universe. They were my directors, and now I just consider them some of my best friends. I really cherish them.
For me, this whole journey started with pageantry, and so when I was presented the opportunity to become co-director for Teen Universe Arizona, I never questioned it. Honestly, Teen Universe Arizona for both of us is a passion project. It's not really considered a business for us. It's our way of giving back as well. It's a lot of work. I mean, people have no idea that the pageantry is like another sport, essentially. If you really get into it, it's a whole other world. And it drives us crazy at times, but once again, when we see the result of what it does for the lives of these young ladies, we're like, okay, we're gonna do it again. Every year we're like, this is our last year doing this, and then we end up doing it again. But pageantry is more of like, it's more about the girl and having a platform and raising awareness on a certain topic. And so we're very intrigued by working with very young girls that are already trying to make a difference. And so if we can help them in any way by giving them a platform, which is Teen Universe, very great platform, then we're gonna do it, yeah.
The one that will represent Arizona at the national competition in Florida in a few months, and might have the possibility to represent us at the international stage in the Dominican Republic. She is
Modeling is almost like creating a story without words. It's definitely another form of expression, you know. We always, even in our classes when we're trying to teach a student how to pose or how to emote, we always remind them that, like, you're telling a story, you're selling a story, you're selling an image. Modeling plays a huge role in brands and companies and businesses, and we see it every day, you know, whether a commercial or a billboard, when you're walking at the mall. It plays a huge part in developing a message overall. So modeling to me just means definitely telling a story without words. Simple as that. The monthly photo shoots, we start shooting them every month, and this is to help them with their portfolios, model portfolios. And then we touch base on runway and posing again, just making it a little bit more advanced and finding their signature walk as well.
So we're super excited. It's myself and another team member, and we came out to style hair for Corella & Co. Today the focus is more so on 90s grunge, which is really, really exciting for me because that's kind of my era. It's really, really on trend. It's kind of like a high school, kind of a throwback feel, but just kind of a elevated, more modern look.
Today's look is a grungy look, so it's a smoky eye for both the female and male models. I met Gia and Jocelyn at a fashion show, and from there we just connected and started working together at different photo shoots with Corella & Co. It's an amazing connection with them too. They're very they're about the youth and making sure that they have a voice and making sure that their careers develop as models as well.
I have a great relationship with them as well as all the other students. They really make you feel so welcomed and at home, and they care so much for you and your journey, and they are just like with you. My goal today is to make everyone feel confident and good as ever in the clothing that they are wearing. Also to get them kind of out of their comfort zone and to be able to try something new.
And if I'm stumped on like whether or not, like, let's say like there's something with the upper body and like, oh, I need some posing, they're right there. I'm not gonna just look straight to Joe or Gia, and they know what's up, and they help me out. They they do with their models. If there's like there's a lot of models to work with, they help to kind of keep them in line and get everything going. They really help with like different things. Like today, for example, I didn't catch there's braids in the back, and they were like, ooh, put them braids in the front. So I really helped out, and that's like in that case for example. So it's nice to have, there's never too many cooks, if you ask me.
I started out the program. I had no friends before I started. I was working, going home, working, going home, working, going home. The weekends, staying home. And then when I started here, I grew close to everybody. And after I finished the program, I left with 4 of my best friends. who I'm still best friends with today. We still see each other weekly, talk every day. So I truly met my forever friends here at Corella & Co.
Korea has helped me develop a kind of confidence now that I don't have problem with exuding when I talk to people or I go to castings or anything like that. So it really helps you learn model etiquette and then how to kind of find yourself. Everyone at Korea here is like a family because the classes are meant, yes, for modeling and how to learn how to be the most confident version of yourself, but through that, you learn how to talk to people, how to get closer to people, and you get so close to everyone in your class and anyone who might not be in your class. So if you're in phase 2, you love all of the phase 1 like students because we're so close because Joe and Gia have created that comfortable environment for all of us to talk and to, you know, bond.
I always seek the family, and so why not just create our own, you know? And I know I'm not the only one. A lot of the students that walk in, they're looking for that as well. You know, they don't have the support system at home. A lot of them, we don't meet their parents even at all. And they're young, and they're doing this on their own, investing on their own. And so we become that family to them. And every single student that from start to finish, you know, they become our family as well. It's a huge attachment, just seeing them every week and getting to know them, getting to motivate them, and vice versa, you know. It is a family feeling, you know. You start trusting them on a different level, and vice versa. They tell us a lot of things that maybe you would tell a family member, but we try to give our best advice for sure.
Yeah, I think for the most part, like we talk about this and say it over and over again. Just them trusting us that way, it feels, you know, like again re-energized in some way. We feel re-energized. We feel that love that comes from all of this, you know. And so I think us being so nurturing and caring at some point sometimes carries over, and maybe we do take on a lot, but but I think
sometimes I think I'm like, are we therapists now?
But
I don't know what has this turned to, but I'm just kidding.
But I don't know. I just we feel like we owe it to them. We owe them that just ear, you know, and just like the safe space that we've created, and you know, wherever that may be. You know, obviously we have a physical building, but like, to be honest, we could have created this anywhere, in any room, and so that's what we love of why we do this and what we do is because of that. It shows through them. It shows in the way they carry themselves and the way that, you know, they embrace what we do every day. So that's a way of them expressing it without saying too much, you know. But yeah, definitely love what we do.
I said let's get glam by Christina Aguilera and Jill said no.
Jocelyn's like, it's supposed to be like powerful.
She wants Diamond.
I think she should do Diamonds by Rihanna or like.
Come on.
We have a special announcement for a special person.
We do?
Should we sing? Can we sing?
Everyone ready to wish her happy birthday? 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gia. Happy birthday to you. Do these actually blow out?
Yeah.
Ready? Thank you guys. Love you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. And I'm so happy I'm celebrating with you.
It's her birthday's on Saturday, by the way.
It is.
Gia has taught me a lot. Like, the way I grew up, again, it was very closed off. My parents were also immigrants, and so they didn't know a lot. And so I didn't learn a lot. And when I started living with Gia, I realized how much I didn't know. And I don't mean just business sense. I'm talking about just everything, like from little things to bigger things. She's taught me a lot. Every day I learn something new, even from the way, again, the way you present yourself. But I think the most impactful thing when we reconnected after taking that break, or I want to say the college year, she gave me this book, and in the book she wrote, in the end, it's not what we created, but it's what we became that we take with us. And I always think of that because I'm like, wow, that is so true, you know, and that's definitely, it all leads into, again, making choices for yourself. And she always says that to me, like, it's a choice, like, no matter what, like, it's all a choice. The consequences, you're gonna deal with it, whether it's good or bad, you know. And so I think that's the biggest and best thing that she's taught me, and I'm very grateful for it. I could, like, seriously, one day I'm gonna write a book about Gia because she taught me a lot, and I think it could go a long way. I could pass it on.
Again, giving. Giving.
That's the one word.
I know. Yeah, I just enjoy that. It brings life to me to be able to give whatever it is that I have, you know, whether it's time or a hug or, you know, and I'm not talking about monetary because, yes, I do spoil people. But I'm talking more like in a sense of like just giving yourself to someone. And I'm one of those that jumps right in and it's like 100% all the way, you know, and so yeah, that's also a downfall. Sometimes, you know, when you put everything out there, it's gonna kicks you in the butt. But it's okay. I'm okay with that. I know I can be okay with that. They can never say I didn't go all in.
That's a love motto right there. That's it. You can never say I didn't go all in.